All right, let's pull back the curtain on machine learning. We're going to uncover the engine that really makes it run. And it might not be what you think, but it's the absolute heart of how AI actually learns. Okay, let's get into it.
So when you think about machine learning, what pops into your head first? I bet for a lot of you, it's just lines and lines of complicated code, maybe some super powerful computers. But what if I told you that's really only half the picture?
You know, on the surface, the perception is all about code and algorithms. We often hear it called a mysterious black box. But the reality? The actual foundation it's all built on is something way more traditional. Statistics, probability, and a whole lot of validation. It's not magic, it's just math.
Yeah, that's the bottom line. Every single machine learning model out there, I don't care if it's the simplest one or the most advanced neural network, is using statistics as its brain. It's the logic that actually lets a machine learn from data in the first place.
So if statistics is the brain, what's it, thinking about? Well, it uses this really powerful toolkit of concepts to make sense of data and predict what's next. Let's take a look at the main tools in that box. First up, you've got probability. The world is a messy place, right? And data is rarely, if ever, perfect. Probability is what gives a model a way to deal with all that uncertainty. It's not about being 100% right all the time. It's about figuring out the most likely answer. That's how models make such intelligent guesses.
Next, we have hypothesis testing. I want you to think of this as a detective for your data. A model might spot what looks like a pattern, but is it a real trend or just random luck? Hypothesis testing is the formal process that confirms whether that pattern is actually significant and not just some coincidence.
And way before any of the really complex training kicks off, we start here with descriptive statistics. This is all about getting the lay of the land, figuring out the average, the middle point, the most common values. It gives you the first crucial clues that guide the whole process.
Okay, enough with the theory. What does this stuff actually look like when you put it to work? Let's make this real with one of the most fundamental models in all of machine learning, linear regression.
You've probably heard of it, and I know it can sound pretty complex, but honestly, it's the perfect example of our big idea today. Linear regression isn't some secret AI magic. It is 100% pure applied statistics.
And this shows you just how it works. It's so elegant. First, you just start with your data points scattered on a graph. Step 2, the whole goal is to fit one single straight line that best shows the trend in that data. But how do you find the best line? That's step 3. You use statistical formulas to draw the line so that it minimizes the distance, what we call the error, between the line itself and every single one of those data points. That's it. See? No black box, just statistics.
So, now that we've seen a bit of the how, let's zoom out to the big picture. Because understanding that this is all based on statistics isn't just a fun fact. It's absolutely fundamental to knowing what these models can and, more importantly, what they can't do. This quote really just says it all, doesn't it? If you strip away that statistical foundation, all the probability, all the validation, what do you have left? You're just guessing. You have a system that isn't really learning anything. It's just making noise.
At the end of the day, this is what it's all about. Statistics gives us the framework to go from having a giant pile of raw data to something useful. It's the set of rules that lets us find real patterns and use them to turn a sea of information into sharp, reliable, and informed decisions.
And that really brings us to the final thought here. The code is the tool. Yeah, it's what executes the instructions. But the statistics, that's where the instructions come from. It's the logic, the reasoning, the intelligence. So the next time you hear about some amazing AI breakthrough, ask yourself, what's the real core of it? The code that's running or the statistics doing the thinking?